Switch off my video. So let's continue what we were left. So in this chapter we talked about the introduction to the refrigeration cycles, several classification, connection with the second law, why not reverse Carnot cycle, then ideal vapor compression cycle, which is the key feature of this chapter, and we'll look more closely. Today we should do the thermodynamic analysis in order to find the COP of any refrigeration of this particular ideal vapor compression cycle, refrigeration cycle, vapor compression refrigeration cycle, which is nothing but the desired effect is the QL that you are taking out from space divided by work in net. So the only work in is this much, QL is this much. Okay, we need to divide this thing. So in order to do the thermodynamic analysis, we can start with our usual standard first law equation, that is E in minus E out is equal to delta E. Okay, so we see over here, this is our TS plot or PV plot. So PV plot would be directly giving me H values, so I will keep this thing. pH would be a better way to analyze the system. pH plot. In pH plot we have slightly slanted vapor dome as compared to the TS plot. We start somewhere here, and this is my saturated liquid line till here, until after that saturated vapor line. We start from here with some pressure, some H1. We go to some two state, that is saturated vapor state. It is similar to what the dome we expect here. So in between these things are mixture. This is superheated region, this is subcooled region. Again, just the only difference is the dome is slightly inverted, slightly slanted. For 1 to 2 is the W in, this is W in by compressor, and from 2 to 3 it is constant pressure line. Okay, and you lose some heat, QH. You come to this particular saturated liquid state, this is 3. You come down directly, isothermic process till this particular temperature and pressure, and you come back here. So this is your cycle. Meanwhile you are taking away QL amount of heat. Okay, let's focus process. Okay, 1 to 2 first. Okay, so for 1 to 2 process, you have state 1, state 2. Okay, and no no heat interaction is here. Q is equal to 0 for 1 to 2. Q is equal to 0 since the compressor works adiabatically. So what is my energy in? Energy So E in I can write, these are composed of Q in, W in, Q out, W out. Okay, so Q in minus Q in plus W in. W in is there, that is compressor work. This is 0 minus uh, Q out. Q out is also not there, this is 0 plus W out. W out is also not there. No work is taken out from the compressor. This is 0. And the change in energy. The change in energy is essentially, what is your change in energy? Since this compressor is a what sort of, it's kind of piston that is going to and fro, and there is a boundary work that is happening, and there is essentially, it's an open system, right? Open system. So open system are often characterized by enthalpies rather than internal energies, what we have already seen. Okay, in order to incorporate the boundary work, so we will tell that this is nothing but H final minus initial. Okay, change in internal energy of the system, that is final minus initial. Final state is H2 minus H1. So we can write that W in is equal to H2 minus H1. This is our equation 1. For process 2 to 3, we can similarly write 2 to 3 is what? 2 to 3 is constant pressure condenser, right? This one, this is going this way, and heat is going taken out to the system, so no work is happening here. So Q in plus W in, this is 0 over here, minus Q out plus W out, this is 0 over here, and Q in is also 0. Q out will be there something, right? This is essentially QH is equal to change in enthalpy again, because since this is an open system, this condenser is an open system. You could say, if you locally assume that you are assuming the system as 2 to 3, so this goes H3 minus H2. That's why minus of QH is equal to H3 minus H2. So we can write QH is equal to H2 minus H3. This is how we are going to write QH. But QH we don't need it, but yes, we will keep this thing in hand for, in order to get the COP for the heat pump, not for the refrigerator. Okay, 3 to 4 is isothermic process, so change in enthalpy is 0, and there is no heat or work interaction. So process 3 to 4, thermodynamically it's not much of interesting is happening, so we'll leave that behind. So everything is 0 over here, we'll leave that behind. Process 4 to 1, we can again write in similar fashion, this fashion. So Q in is happening, that is QL. W in is not there, plus 0, minus Q out 0, W out 0, is equal to final minus initial H1 minus H4. So we can write QL is equal to H1 minus H4. Okay, and I should write a small q's over here in order to things in similar dimensions. It was just my convention whether I'll choose it as my mass basis. So I'll choose everything small. Okay, now what is my COP? COP of refrigerant is the desired thing. Desired thing is your QL divided by W in. So QL is this much, H1 minus H2 divided by W in is this much. Okay, I'm doing some wrong. Okay, 1 minus 4, this is 4. H1 minus H4. You guys are listening? You didn't modify and you didn't catch my mistake, anything, anyways. So this is your coefficient of performance for refrigerant refrigeration cycle. H1 minus H4 by H2 minus H1, where H1 is, so H1, so this H1 is the Hg at that same pressure, S3 is Hf at that same pressure for ideal cases. Okay. When I talk about the heat pumps, so the similar, all the devices work similarly, except my aim will be different. That is, I want things to be heated up here. I will be sitting over here and I want things to be heated up. If suppose I am sitting in some cold country. Okay, I have one question. Why these many? If in cold countries, why you need heat pumps? Why can't you just put a heater and you heat your air? What could be the reason? Why these sort of devices you should make, and you should it should take up more of electricity and more of maintenance and everything? Why don't you just have a heater and you just heat up? What could be the reason? Can somebody comment?
Sir, the heater sometimes, when used for a long time, it causes a bit of suffocation, I guess.
Very nice, very nice. So basically, who is this?
Jai Gajja.
Jay, very nice. I mean, you are going on the right track. So essentially, what it does, heaters, what it does, it's actually uh, consumes oxygen as well. Okay, in order to burn your air, like in order to heat up your air, uh, in order to heat up things, it actually consumes some amount of oxygen also. Okay, so with the time you may feel uh, suffocated because of less oxygen, but here things are not happening in that way. Very nice, that's a good answer. That is why the cold countries prefer heat pumps over this. But anyways, uh, the partial cold countries such as India, we just have 1 month or 2 months of coolness, like January or December or something. So we could manage with heaters as well here. And also we are not we are much more concerned about the cost that is we are going to put into these heat pumps. So that is why we prefer here heaters. But in cold countries and developed countries, they prefer heat pumps because usually they are more concerned about the human comfort. Okay, good. Okay, so similarly, this COP of heat pump would be QH by WN. WN will be the same, and QH will be this thing, H2 minus H3. So this is your whole thermodynamic analysis for your refrigeration cycle. So let's take up one quick example. The refrigerator uses refrigerant 134A as working fluid and operates on an ideal vapor compression refrigeration cycle between 0.14 and 0.8 megapascal. So it's given that these two pressures. So let's suppose this is my lower pressure. So PL is equal to 0.14 MPa, and P higher, pH is equal to 0.8 MPa. If the mass flow rate of refrigerant is this much, also given m dot is equal to 0.05. I want you guys to take a piece of paper and pen and do it. Determine the rate of heat removal from the refrigerator space. So what is my QL? QL dot rate of heat removal, okay, is what? The power input to the compressor, W in dot the rate of heat rejection to the environment, also QH dot, and the COP of the refrigerant. Okay, let's do this, and whoever do this, I want to give bonus for the next coming internal assessment. Let's do it, and I want to see your answers in the chat. Okay, so this is your question. Also notice here that because of this refrigerant, your saturation temperatures was much below as compared to the vapor power cycles temperatures. Okay, you can also notice that also in between. So nobody has done that. So it seems nobody is interested. You guys are doing yes or no, at least. Apurv Ghanekar, are you doing this? Or you left? Apurv? No Apurv here.
Yes, sir.
So you are doing the sum?
Yes, sir. I'm trying.
Okay, so take a screenshot. And
Yes, sir.
Moro Mondalen. You're here or you're not? Pratham Nagori.
Yes, sir.
So you are doing?
Sir, can you
Okay.
show the question?
Moro does not have. Okay, you are trying. Okay, good. Yes, this is your question again. This is very straightforward. It should not take time because you guys are accustomed these days to see the tables. Abhiraj Rehwar. So it is also evident that these D2D students are not as as uh, as compared to you guys, because it seems they are lagging behind. They're not catching up things. Yeah, there are few good students also there, but most of them are struggling. I don't know why. And it seems you guys are better in terms of understanding and Okay, so far no answers. Okay, this is very surprising. Okay, Harsh, you want to tell something? No. Savan, Sanat. Sanat is on hold. Samay. Okay, it seems you guys are not interested in doing. Okay, let me do that then. So first of all, I have to notice that this is not water. I don't have to look into the steam table or water table. I have to go for some other table. That is the refrigerant table. There is one chat. Okay. Ansh has put down the answers. I don't want answer. I want the scribbling of your picture. I mean, the paper. Can you paste your answer here? Let me go to the property table and let's start doing. So I don't have to look at water table. Okay. So I have to go for refrigerant 134R. 134R. Yes, this is 134R, and this is saturated refrigerant. Okay, that's fair enough because I want things to be start from H1. H1. This is my H1. Okay, this okay, fine, anything. So this H1 I could get from so at pressure I need to go to the pressure. So pressure is the lower pressure is 0.14 MPa, so 140 kilopascal. So go to 140, this table, and notice that the saturation temperature is how much? Very less, -18. See, that's so beautiful. That is why these things are. I mean, the property of refrigerant is such that at even the considerate pressures, it has very low saturation temperatures. This is why it is widely used in refrigerations as compared to other water also. Okay, you have to go to enthalpy, and yes, enthalpy at gas saturated vapor condition is Hg. You will put this 239.16. Okay, H1G is 239.16 kilojoule per kg. Okay, at pressure 140 kilo pascal. Okay, I want to deduce H2. So H2 is this much pressure. So now at pressure 800 kilopascal, we need to look at what table? This is in superheated state, right? So this is my one state, this is my two state, superheated state. Let's go to the superheated state. Okay, superheated state at pressure 0.8 है ना, 0.8. So this is my 0.8 MPa. Okay, and this is my superheated region. So 0.8. So you can go to H value, right? So this second last column. So second last column, and temperature was, saturation temperature was how much? Okay, there is a catch. So can somebody help me? How to do? If I'm doing mistake? So Ansh, you tell me how you would have done that. You can open your mic and you can help me. Ansh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me where I am making mistake. So just tell other guys. So am I doing right? You tell me. From 1 to 2, I'm an H. What mistake I'm doing?
I don't know, sir.
Then how did you come up with the answer? So anybody else? So this is bad. Matlab, am I doing some? Am I not fully understandable these days, or what? What is the problem?
Sir, just find H2 value at the second pressure, and then uh, we can do that mass flow rate into H1 minus H4.
No, I want
That
to
will be
calculate
QL.
H2. How to calculate H2? You tell me.
So from property table only.
Okay, you tell me how.
Okay.
So I figured out my mistake.
So we have 0.8 megapascal. So we
Uh-huh.
will have to go there 0.8.
0.8. Okay, I'm going 0.8. So this is my 0.8, right?
0.8, and now right.
So which value should I take? Okay.
H saturated
Because you
temperature is
don't know the temperature, what temperature at it is right now. Okay, you don't have any idea, so you cannot uh, assume here at what temperature you should look. So what you should do, this thing. Okay, let me do it here. So, but from this table, you know that this S1 is equal to S2. That you are clear. Why don't I find S1 also? One more property to fix things. Okay, so X1 also I will read from table. That is Sg at 140 kilopascal. And what is that? Okay.
sir 0.94456.
Okay. Let's suppose 0.94 kilojoule per kg Kelvin or degree C. Now Okay, now state 2. Okay, state 2 is actually superheated state. I'm sorry. Now P2 is 800 kilopascal. And now you have S also. So S2 is equal to S1. You know, 0.94. You go and check at P2 and this S. What is your H? Now let's go to the table and let's see. What is my H2? Okay, so the same table, superheated only, and the last column is my S. Okay, now you fix your S. Fix your S. What my S was? 0.94, right? 0.94, somewhere here. So you are fixing this. So corresponding to this will be your H. And if you want, you can actually do the interpolation and you will get something in between. But even if you write 2 for 276, I am happy with that. 276. So do you guys agree that in this region you have to fix these states, you need 2 independent intensive properties, but here you need 3 properties, quality as well. Okay, that is why what you should remember, at these points you should have only 2 properties to fix the states, but anywhere inside, here, anywhere, you should have 3 properties. Okay, so 2 properties are here, so my next property will be fixed. So H2 I am calculated. Okay, so this one, let's suppose 276, close, 276, 275 maybe. So now I have H1 and H2, and now I can calculate my W in compressor, W dot in rather. Okay, so W dot in also, okay, let me see what other things. Let's first calculate the power input to the compressor. Fine. So here it should be H2 minus H1. Okay, and if at all, let's see if it is asking for net input power. So if it is asking for net input power, so you need to multiply with m dot l also. Okay, so then it will be capital W naught, and then your answer would come. So m is what? 0.05 kilogram per second times H2 minus H1. So 276 minus 239. 276 minus 239, and this is how your answer would come to 1.8 kilowatt something. Fine. Similarly, now you have estimated the properties at 2, you can estimate the properties at 3 in similar fashion. So at 3, state 3, what are the things you have? So 3 will be constant pressure. Again, pressure is given 0.8 MPa, and what else? There will be a QH. This you want. So basically QH or Q dot H is equal to m dot times H2 minus H3. This is what we know. We need H2 we know, H3 we want to know. H3 is what? Saturated, liquid, right? Saturated liquid at this particular. So go to the table, saturated liquid table. Okay, fine, I'm going. And 0.8, it means 800. So this is 800 kilopascal. And yes, go to, now see the temperature has been brought up slightly from minus 18 to this much. Okay, what is my H now? Okay, so go to H table. Okay, so this one 267. Yes, you are done. So this is 267. This H2 is already given 276. You minus that, multiply it with M, and you will get. Have I done mistake? Let me go again back. You guys are not listening. So see what mistake I have done. I have chosen saturated vapor. This is wrong. I have to choose saturated liquid. Why? This is my saturated liquid state, right? Left side. Come on. You guys are sleeping, it seems, today. So this is not correct. So I have to go for this and check for 95. Yes, now this is correct. 95. 95. Now you should do the calculation. 0.05 to 76 minus 95. Now you will get the answer. 9 kilowatts. So are you guys are not following today? What happened? So I'll keep this thing. I'll not move forward. Okay, because it seems you guys are not interested today. So no need to push you guys. So any doubt so far? Or what mistake I have made in front of you? You can actually critically analyze that and then rectify yourself. Okay,
Okay, sir.
agree?
Sir, can you upload chapter 9 and 10 slides on the Teams?
Okay, fine, I will do that. But I would highly recommend that go and read this book. There is no escape. This one, this book. Read line by line. Otherwise, there is no escape. Your PPT will not help. Fine, I'll upload PPT. PPT is my thing. I mean, I can read this book line by line. Okay, I will upload that. Okay, let me take the attendance and let's leave the class because you guys are not, seems you guys are sleepy or so. Okay. Fine. Any other doubt or any clarification about quiz? The quiz I will be taking on 3rd, right? And 3rd will be, all the things will be multiple choice. And correction would be also less time consuming for me.
So direct answer will be displayed only. If we
What
complete
direct
the quiz, then answer means if we complete, then our score will update itself.
It's like online examination.
Yes, sir.
I'll try to make like that. True. That would be fair for everyone, because this time those who have shown their answers to another, they are in loss. Okay, fine. Then if you don't